Hi guys, I'm hoping you're not bored at home, and just in case you are, I'm going to give you some math to do today. Avery is so excited to be my camera person, so we are going to get going. Notes as usual. Here we go. Okay, so today is Tuesday, March 17th. Hey, it's St. Patrick's Day. Hope you guys are all wearing green. Today we are going to solve literal equations. You've probably done this before, so I don't think this will be a big deal. I've got a worksheet that I'm going to upload to Classroom. Hopefully you've seen my email by now and gotten that code. I'm going to have you do the even number problems only on the worksheet, and then I'll check back in with you tomorrow. So, regular algebraic equations, a linear equation. If I asked you to solve for x, of course you guys would all tell me that you're going to subtract 2 and you were going to divide by 3 and you're going to get x equals 6. And I think my older daughter's taking pictures of me. I'm not sure why. Okay, so literal equations. Full of a bunch of letters, of course. Makes no sense in math, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this equation and we're still going to solve for x. So to solve for x, you have to isolate it, which means you have to move that entire term over. We're going to move the by over by subtracting it, because of course subtraction is the inverse of the addition that we have there. To get x by itself now, you're going to divide everything by a, and your final answer looks like that. Okay? Now, everything else is going to look a lot like what you've seen before. This would be a typical algebraic equation that we have solved before. We know that in order to get the denominator out of there, you have to multiply each side by what's in the denominator, so you would get x equals 24 here. It's the same thing over here, you guys. If I'm asking you to solve for x, you're still going to multiply by what's in the denominator. Your denominators will cancel, right, because of the fact that you have a form of 1 there, y divided by y. Now, if your variable is in the denominator, you still, in order to undo the fraction, are going to multiply each side by the denominator. So we get here 3 equals 10x, divide each side by 10, and x equals 3/10. Likewise over here, you guys, if I was asking you to solve for x, still multiply by what's in the denominator, a equals bx, and now you'll divide each side by b, and x equals a divided by b. Occasionally you'll have some stuff with parentheses. If I'm asking you to solve for x here, there are a couple of different ways you can go. Most of the time, your gut reaction when you see a set of parentheses is to go ahead and distribute. You can do that, and that will be fine. Or what you could do is divide by that 5, so you end up like this. And then you could go about your business as far as solving for x. You would subtract p from both sides. Now, here's the sticky part. You have to divide each side by 4. In dividing each side by 4, you've got to be careful because you're going to have a fraction divided by something else, which is fine. If we divide by 4, you've got this w over 5 divided by 4, which is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this would be w over 20, and that p divided by 4 would be p divided by 4. If you chose to distribute through, your answer might look a little different than this, but it's still going to be the same answer. It's just going to take a different form. Most of the time what you will see this used for is actually in science, not math so much, but when you guys take chemistry and physics later, you'll see formulas. This is the conversion formula from Fahrenheit to Celsius and back. So you might see something like this, and you might be asked to solve for C. I would probably subtract 32 first. And then what you can do is divide by 9/5, which is actually multiplying by the reciprocal 5/9. You could do that. If you wanted to, you could take this equation and start it by multiplying everything by the denominator, so that you would have 5f equals 9c plus, what's 32 times 5? 160, I think. And you can go that way. So either way, and then finish by multiplying by c. What I want you to understand is that as you guys are working through some of these problems, if you're talking to each other over Snapchat or whatever, you might have the same answer in different forms. You may have started a problem different than somebody else did, but it'll be fine. All right, if you have questions, email me. I will certainly be glad to help. I'm going to attach the worksheet to Classroom, and you guys will be set to go. See ya.